let's practice our speaking skills together. We have Professor Michael here with us today, and he will help us with some of the tasks. There are 10 questions that we're going to go through, and then we will provide the sample responses to that. Let's start with task 1, and that is independent speaking of personal choice. So, question 1.
Describe a memorable trip you have taken. Explain where you went, what you did, and why it was special.
So, the sample response could be as follows. One of the most memorable trips I have taken was to Paris, France. I visited several iconic landmarks, including the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre Museum. One of the highlights was seeing the Mona Lisa in person. What made the trip truly special was experiencing the rich culture, truly authentic French cuisine, and practicing my French speaking skills. This trip was unforgettable because it combined history, art, and personal growth. Let's move to question number 2.
Some people prefer to study alone, while others prefer to study in a group. Which do you prefer and why?
The sample response to this question could be as follows. I prefer to study alone because it allows me to focus without distraction. When I study by myself, I can control the pace and spend more time on difficult topics. For example, uh, when I'm preparing for the exams, I create my own study schedule and use techniques like summarizing notes and self-quizzing. Although group study can be beneficial for discussion, I find that I learn best when I study independently. Let's move to the third question.
If you could learn a new skill, what would it be and why?
The sample response to this question could be as follows. If I could learn a new skill, I would choose programming. In today's digital world, coding is a valuable skill that opens up many career opportunities. For example, learning Python or JavaScript could help me develop apps, automate tasks, or even create websites. Additionally, programming enhances problem-solving skills, which are useful in many areas of life. Let's move to question number 4.
Do you think students should be required to participate in extracurricular activities? Why or why not?
So our sample response could be as follows. Yes, I believe students should be required to participate in extracurricular activities because they provide valuable life skills. For instance, being part of a sports team teaches teamwork and discipline, while joining a debate club improves public speaking skills. Additionally, extracurricular activities help students relieve stress and make new friends. These experiences prepare students for the real world by fostering communication and leadership skills. Let's move to question number 5.
Some people believe that online courses are more effective than traditional in-person classes. Do you agree or disagree? Explain your opinion.
The sample response could be following. I believe online classes can be just as effective as traditional in-person classes, if not more. Online learning provides flexibility, allowing students to learn at their own pace. For example, I once took an online language course that let me review lessons whenever I needed. Additionally, digital tools like discussion forums and recorded lectures enhance learning. However, in-person classes offer more direct interaction. Overall, I prefer online courses because of their convenience. So now we're moving to our task 2, and that is integrated speaking, campus related. Let's take a look at question number 6. A university has announced a plan to ban the use of bicycles on campus to improve pedestrian safety.
Good afternoon, everyone. In our ongoing effort to improve campus safety, we are announcing a new initiative aimed at reducing accidents and enhancing the pedestrian experience. Beginning next semester, bicycles will no longer be permitted on campus. Our decision is based on extensive feedback and the need to protect our students, faculty, and staff from the increasing number of bicycle-related incidents. We encourage students to use alternative modes of transportation, such as walking, buses, or scooters. Thank you.
A student writes a comment to the school newspaper opposing the ban.
I oppose the university's decision to ban bicycles. Biking reduces traffic and pollution. Instead of banning bikes, invest in bike lanes to ensure the safety for all. Sincerely, James.
Another student agrees with the ban.
I agree with the ban. Bikes cause too many accidents and inconvenience pedestrians.
What you need to do is you need to summarize the two perspectives and express your own opinion. And the sample response could be as follows. The student who wrote the letter opposes the bicycle ban, arguing that biking is an environmentally friendly and efficient way to get around campus. They also believe the university should focus on creating bike lanes instead of banning bicycles altogether. However, another student agrees with the ban, stating that bicycles often cause accidents and inconvenience pedestrians. In my opinion, a compromise would be best. Instead of banning bicycles completely, the university could introduce stricter bike regulations or designated bike lanes to ensure safety while allowing students to use bikes. Let's move to task number 3, that is integrated speaking on academic topics. And question number 7 is as follows. You read an article about the concept of positive reinforcement in psychology, which suggests that rewarding good behavior encourages its repetition.
Psychologists define positive reinforcement as a strategy where a desirable stimulus is given after a behavior to encourage its repetition. This technique is widely used in various fields, including education and parenting. By rewarding good behavior, individuals are more likely to continue exhibiting it in the future.
So then you listen to a lecture where the professor gives an example of a teacher rewarding students for completing homework. Then you need to summarize the concept and example.
In a classroom, Mr. Johnson often rewards his students for completing their homework on time as a way to encourage responsibility and hard work. For example, at the end of each week, he holds a homework raffle where students who have completed all their assignments are entered into a draw for a small prize, such as extra recess time, a homework pass, or a fun classroom activity. This not only motivates students to stay on track with their work, but also creates a positive atmosphere in the classroom where effort and consistency are acknowledged and celebrated.
So our sample response could be as follows. The article explains that positive reinforcement is a psychological technique where rewarding good behavior increases the likelihood of it happening again. The professor supports this idea with an example from education. He describes a teacher who holds a homework raffle when the students complete their homework. As a result, students are more motivated to do their work regularly. This example illustrates how rewards encourage positive behavior in learning environment. And we're moving to our task number 4, which is integrated speaking in academic lecture. Question number 8. Listen to a lecture about the greenhouse effect and how it contributes to climate change. Summarize the professor's explanation of how human activities amplify this effect.
The greenhouse effect is a natural process that helps maintain the Earth's temperature by trapping heat in the atmosphere. However, human activities have intensified this effect. When fossil fuels are burned, they release carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases create a thick layer that traps more heat than necessary, leading to global warming. Examples include rising temperatures, melting ice caps, and more frequent extreme weather events like hurricanes and droughts. To combat this, we can reduce carbon emissions by using renewable energy sources like solar and wind power, as well as planting more trees to absorb carbon dioxide.
Our sample response to that could be as follows. The professor explains that the greenhouse effect occurs when gases like carbon dioxide trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere, keeping the planet warm. However, human activities such as burning fossil fuels increase the concentration of these gases, making the Earth warmer than it should be. This leads to climate change, causing problems like rising sea levels and extreme weather. The professor emphasizes that reducing emissions and using renewable energy sources can help slow down global warming. Let's move to our question number 9. A professor explains the difference between renewable and non-renewable resources. You need to summarize the key points of the lecture.
Renewable resources, such as solar and wind energy, replenish naturally and can be used indefinitely. For example, sunlight and wind are always available, making them sustainable energy sources. Non-renewable energy resources, on the other hand, include fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas. These resources take millions of years to form and are being consumed much faster than they can be replaced. As a result, over-reliance on non-renewable energy leads to depletion and environmental issues such as pollution and climate change.
So the sample response to that could be as follows. The professor discusses two types of resources, renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resources, like solar and wind energy, can be replenished naturally and are sustainable. Non-renewable resources, such as coal and oil, are limited and take millions of years to form. The professor points out that excessive use of non-renewable resources can lead to environmental damage and energy shortages, making it crucial to transition to renewable alternatives. Let's move to our question number 10. Listen to a lecture about animal migration patterns. The professor describes how certain bird species navigate long distances using the Earth's magnetic field. Then you need to summarize the explanation.
Scientists have found that certain bird species, such as Arctic terns, use the Earth's magnetic field to find their way. These birds have tiny particles in their brains that allow them to detect magnetic fields and determine their direction. This ability ensures birds reach environments with sufficient food and ideal climate conditions, increasing their chances of survival.
So the sample response to that could be as follows. The professor explained that some birds migrate thousands of miles to find food or warmer climates. Scientists have discovered that these birds use the Earth's magnetic field as a navigation tool. Tiny particles in their brains help them sense magnetic fields, guiding them in the right direction. The professor gives an example of Arctic terns, which travel between the Arctic and Antarctica every year. The ability helps birds survive by ensuring they reach locations with better food and weather conditions. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video.